Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. Got a story, and it's about pensions. And pensions are imploding right now as we speak. And the reason why we know this is because there's ominous warnings being brought out by so many different pension companies. And this story tells that tale even stronger. And what is very interesting is a handful of people, 1,000 people, just decided to retire early because of warnings. And I'm going to explain afterwards how your pension can be at risk, and if you don't have a pension or retirement, you need to understand that this is going to affect the entire economy as a whole because of a trickle down effect. Okay. So, first, it's a story out of Yahoo, and it's entitled 1,000 Salaried Ford Workers Retire After Pension Warning from Automaker. It said Ford sent out an email to retirement eligible salaried employees in September with a warning and a bit of advice about retiring this year to maximize a lump sum pension payment. It says the company confirmed Wednesday that approximately 1,000 employees elected to retire by the December 1st deadline. The Ford note, subject line, quote, important information regarding your pension, end quote, pointed out that anyone who is considering retiring and opting for a lump sum payment needs to look at the numbers. It says right here, rising interest rates in 2022 will trigger a significant drop in the potential payout. For those who choose the lump sum pension option next year, the lump sum for 2023, according to the Ford memo, would decrease by an estimated 20% to 25% relative to the lump sum values that Ford employees would get if they took it in 2022. Let me stop real quick and preface all of this with every company is different. Every pension plan is different, right? The problem is every single pension plan has one thing in common. They need to make a stable rate of return on average year over year to be able to grow and or just pay the current beneficiaries that are already retired. A pension plan is literally a Ponzi scheme. There is no better explanation for a pension plan. The reason why I say that is because a pension plan continually needs younger generations to get hired on with the company to pump money into that pension in order for it to stay solvent. It does not work on its own. If the company, if people were to stop putting money into their pensions, or the company stopped hiring newer employees to be able to do this, to be able to build, what they believe in the next over 20 years, 25 years plus with the company, building a retirement system, that pension plan would collapse. Okay, so I make no qualms about this. Literally, pension plans to me are a Ponzi scheme. Not only that, we saw a lot of pension plans go almost belly up during the Great Recession. The reason why is because the stock market had year over year negative returns. That's bad. We saw the facts, the truth come out when pension plans had to sell assets just to be able to pay their current beneficiaries. It wasn't like they were able to live off the dividends or things like that. They were literally selling off massive chunks of their assets. Now it says right here, if you are considering retiring, and this is a quote from the letter that was put out to their employees. If you're considering retiring and choosing the lump sum option, it is important to understand the impact of higher interest rates on your individual lump sum amount. Should you retire after December 1st of 2022, read the Ford memo, which also included a brief survey to help the company plan for employee retirements. So for example, if someone took a $500,000 lump sum payout in 2022, the loss in 2023 could be in the range of $100,000 to $125,000. That is absolutely blowing my mind, the size, the magnitude of a drop like that. So there are a lot of people that would opt to leave earlier. This is going to also cause a little bit more havoc on pension funds if this is happening in other funds, because the pension plan has now people running for the exits, going, okay, higher interest rates are going to drastically affect my payout in the future, so I better leave now. And that's going to be even more weight on an already weighed down pension environment, the entire industry. Another thing I think about is right now we're having a hard time hiring good labor, right? Or anyone at all. Employment numbers aren't coming up like they should be, which means there's less people putting into the pension plan. Yet again, one more strain on the system that needs to be noted. Now, it says right here, Choosing a lump sum payout is an option, but not a requirement. And it says here, these retirements are independent of recent actions by the company, which have included job reductions in parts of the company that focus on traditional internal combustion engine vehicles. While CEO Jim Farley divided the company into Ford Model E electric and Ford Blue non-electric units, it is Ford Blue trucks that generate that revenue needed to transform the Dearborn automaker. Farley has indicated, however, that an additional jobs cut may be on the horizon in an attempt to be more competitive on the cost of operating the company. Now, check this out. Ford has been in the news lately because they are having to make cuts. They're not doing as well as they'd hoped. And again, that is going to put strain on the pension system. As people are retiring and the pension fund has to pay, Ford is having a hard time selling vehicles, especially as we see the interest rates continue to rise, inflation get worse, and people not go out and buy new vehicles. Think about that. You have that issue combined with job cuts, which is, again, less people putting money into the pension scheme, the Ponzi scheme. You're going to see these pension funds go bust. We just literally saw President Biden do a historic bailout to the tune of, what was it, $36 billion, the largest bailout of a pension fund in history. And I told you, this is not a one-off case. This is going to get worse. You're going to see this in quarter one and quarter two of 2023. All right, guys, with that being said, I thank you so much for watching. Start to prepare your pension plans now. Get ready. Pretend like they're not going to be there. Get out of debt, save money, and invest wisely, because you need to be the one in command of your own retirement. You can't put it in the hands of the bigwigs. They're going to bleed those pension funds dry. All right, guys, that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.